we're gonna do maybe almost like a Q&A kind of thing. Maybe not. I don't know how it's gonna turn out. However this video turns out is however it turns out. Welcome to my channel. For those who don't know me, my name is Tenn-Lai. This is my husband, Adrian, and we got a little boy named Aiden. And on this channel, we talk about all things
motherhood.
All right, let's get it. Breastfeeding, and not just like tips and stuff on breastfeeding, but and some videos I may have touched on parts of this, but my experience with breastfeeding and Adrian's experience with watching me breastfeed. Because sometimes we talk about just the mother's journey, but we don't talk about how the men feel through all of this, their perception, what they believed breastfeeding was, their understanding of breastfeeding, and all of that. So Adrian has no idea what I'm going to ask him, so it's going to be like a real authentic conversation.
It is going to be.
All right, let's get it. So pregnancy, right? I'm pregnant. At this time, you didn't know much about breastfeeding. I didn't know much about breastfeeding. I just knew that I wanted to breastfeed. Mm-hmm. Did you know that you wanted your child to be breastfed, formula fed? Did it matter to you?
I wanted him to be breastfed just because I knew that there were some natural, immediate nutrients that was beneficial for a child just from the very beginning. What I didn't know was in terms of the length, in terms of how long you go about breastfeeding or how long you should breastfeed a child. Mm-hmm. Just because the norm that I'm used to, I guess maybe hearing and maybe seeing just like a couple of months, and then you kind of wean the baby off and then give them formula or so forth. The journey that we kind of went through, which again I'm learning through Tenn-Lai and so forth, because she put some time into this thing. Like she's studying to really show herself approved with this thing. That you can breastfeed your baby for like a million years. Well, not a million years, but like for an extended period of time. Yeah. Before really weaning them off and really just understand that there's benefits to that, right?
What did you know was nutritious in breast milk?
So the one thing that I do remember is, and if I pronounce this wrong, correct me, it's colostrum, whatever the case. Yes, colostrum, which I knew that at the very beginning of the child's life, that there's a lot of nutrients in that, which I believe helps the baby grow and kind of...
Well, breast milk in general, but
yeah.
Colostrum is the first thing that your breasts make.
Yeah.
But what did you know? Not now, because I know you know that now, but before.
But that's what I knew. So all I knew was that it was beneficial for the colostrum. In terms of why it was beneficial, that's now coming through, again, time and so forth with you and I now. But
did
before,
you know?
No.
Did you know that it was only the beginning that happened, or did you think that colostrum was through, like, in breast milk throughout the entire time of your breastfeeding?
If I'm honest, I thought it was always in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
The nutrition is definitely still in breast milk, but like that is just the beginning phase, which is a couple of days.
See, I didn't know it last couple of days. Yeah, I thought it would have been longer than that, but yeah, I know that it didn't last forever and ever. But anyways, yeah.
So that's what you knew. Okay, so now we get into we both were on the same page in terms of wanting our child breastfed. Aiden is here now. We get to the hospital. We see that he latches. So when you saw him latch for the first time within that first hour, so the golden hour, you see him latch, and you see my face. What are you thinking?
I was like, Tenn-Lai is not gonna last. This is not gonna last. If anybody knows Tenn-Lai, the pain tolerance, Tenn-Lai does not like pain. And when I saw Aiden just, and I saw Tenn-Lai.
Do we have it on video?
Yeah, we do.
I do. If I have more of the face on there, I'll probably put it in here somewhere. But if it's too exclusive, I probably won't post it. But we'll see.
Yeah, here's your face.
And you were okay with that?
I was okay as long as you were okay and Aiden was fed.
Okay.
That was the most important thing to me, because I didn't want you to be in pain forever and a day, just to say that I have to breastfeed.
Now we get into the room, and just long story short, through all the processes that I'm going through in terms of healing and complications, I didn't get to not necessarily breastfeed Aiden while I was at the hospital. So what they did was actually hand express some colostrum from my breast. I can't remember. Were you in the room when they were doing that? I don't
I was
remember
there
what
for everything.
I don't remember what my facial expression was like. Do you remember what my facial expression was like when they were doing that?
It wasn't as painful for you.
And then now moving to we're getting home, and then finally my milk comes in. But I pumped, and I think I got like just a little bit.
And I remember you rejoiced. You celebrated.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I celebrated, and I spilled a bottle.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even know what I was doing.
You spill it than me. Yeah.
It was my midwife that came over that actually helps me breastfeed. And I was using a nipple shield. What was your reaction? Did you know what a nipple shield was at the time? I didn't even know what it was either. But what was your reaction? How were you feeling? What were you thinking through the process of, even at the doctor's office when they got Aiden to latch for the first time? Like, what were you thinking or feeling in that moment watching me learn to breastfeed?
I had more hope that you would last in terms of breastfeeding. Like I said, seeing the initial pain and just knowing who you are was just like, this is not, so having that extra layer there for you, it seemed like it minimized some of the discomfort for you. So I'm like, okay, well, Aiden's still getting fed, the milk is still coming out, shield or no shield, who cares, right?
Were you amazed when you saw milk for the first time?
No, because it's not the first time I saw milk. Well, for you, yes.
Coming from me. Going back to the hospital, you said that when you saw my facial expression, you thought I wasn't going to last. Was that because your perception of breastfeeding should have been just instant, no issues, no pain, and it should be like, it's just natural?
Did I expect you to be like, ooh, this is nice. Come on, Aiden, come on and breastfeed?
Yeah.
No. Did I expect you to be like, ooh, and that was a constant thing throughout the feeding? I didn't expect that. But did I expect you to be like, ooh, okay, that feels a little different. Ooh. I'm holding my chest like it's me, but oh God, this is weird. Yeah, so did I expect that? No, and that's what made me concerned. Hopefully that makes more sense. I think if I saw like it was awkward, in terms of okay, his head's here, this feels funny here. Like, I guess if I saw that, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, she's good. She'll adjust. But it was just like the level of pain, and I don't know if excruciating is the right word to use, but that's what your face looked like. It looked like you were like in excruciating pain.
And that was just the first latch.
Yeah, and that was with the assistance of everyone else. Like, because I mean, I don't know how to put Aiden onto your boob, and that was what helped him. Was like,
yeah, it was all the time for 12 weeks that it was excruciating pain, like toes curling pain. Like, you cannot be around while I'm latching him, and you cannot watch me while I'm latching him. I was so insecure,
and that's what I say. I think there's like an insecurity piece there
because I didn't know what I was doing. And I felt like he was judging, even though he wasn't. I felt like he was judging me, and I felt pressure. Like, you know, when somebody's watching you do something, I just felt that pressure. Got him to get pillows, and it took maybe 5 minutes, probably sometimes even longer than that, to even get Aiden to latch. And he would lay there crying. And I was getting frustrated because I'm like, I know he's hungry. I want to latch him, but I can't latch him. Like, it was a whole thing. Plan was, even if I wasn't able to breastfeed directly, I was planning to pump, which is why I had the, like, Adrian was giving him pumped breast milk.
We then found out that there was obviously reasons why, in terms of the whole latching experience, which kind of affected the amount that Aiden was sucking or was able to get up, and then the discomfort.
And like
Tenn-Lai.
like I mentioned, I had severe nipple damage. My nipples were discolored, still discolored, like permanent nipple damage. But we didn't know, like, Aiden had a lip tie and a tongue tie. We didn't know what those were. We saw one lactation consultant. She was like, everything you're doing, it's not supposed to hurt this way. So end up sending us to a specialist. That's when we were told that he has a lip tie and a tongue tie. And snip, snip. It was good. Seconds. Latched him, and the immediate latch after he got the release, it was so much better. And obviously he had to get used to his new mouth. It was a drastic difference, and that's when I decided, like, I enjoy this breastfeeding thing. so much that I want to help other moms. You were the one that brought it up to me to say, I think
And
you
with a
should be
vision.
a lactation consultant. And I just kept pushing it off. And then one day I said, you know what? Start with being the certified breastfeeding counselor. It's so good to provide that information. If you have made it this far, thanks for tuning in with us. It's a long video, but I was glad to hear your perception. I know I did a lot of talking too, but I was glad to hear your idea and your perception of what breastfeeding has brought, and like you, even you educating people. If people come to you, they can just say, "Hey, let me go talk to Adrian because he knows the information." So it's important for, like Adrian said, your support person, your partner, your husband, your boyfriend, to know what's going
Be
on.
in the know. Yeah, be in the know.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys. Adios. Bye, mamas.
And papas.